we moved into this house in 2003. It was a new house, new construction. We're from California. So when this house, the place where we used to live was based on open design. Everything was open. Our family room, living room was one contiguous space. And so when we came here, we had certain requirements, one of which was we want an outdoor space to be as small as possible, but focus was on the inside. And we really liked this house. The only area that we always have a little bit of hesitation was this kitchen area. The kitchen was divided up with a wall that basically it made it not really practical space. But we said, all right, the rest of the house we like, we're just gonna stay with that. And we lived here 18 years. So we finally decided that it was time for some of the pieces of our building to be upgraded, including, like, for example, floor, appliances. And we said, well, we're doing all of this. If we're gonna change our cabinets and change our floor, why not just, make it a different layout? So that was the idea. So first, what I had to do was I did some sketches on the paper because my wife is extremely, conservative when it comes to changes. So I presented that to her and I said, this is what I'm thinking about. And it was very hard to picture and imagine because where I'm sitting, there used to be a wall that separates these two spaces. She looked at it first and she kind of warmed up to the idea of not having a wall there. So then I still have the original sketches, which we did. And so I said, all right, so now we need to find out what will it really take to do that, because we don't know whether this wall is going to support any particular structural part of the building or not. So we need to start talking to people. So that's when I started reaching out to this one gentleman who used to be a superintendent of this building when it was being built. He went on and started his own business. He has a renovation business too. He came here, took a look at it, gave us some ideas, but I wasn't really happy with some of the things that I was hearing. I said, okay. Then I started doing a search, and I did a search on Google based on, best remodeling outfits in Northern Virginia. And that's where I saw your outfit showing up on the search. Then the website had multiple customer testimonials, which was extremely helpful because that's what really sold it for us. When I saw sample kitchens and how it was done, it kind of solidified our view of what we wanted to see. The only thing I still did not know was how they're going to deal with this wall, that it's going to be removed, because the other side of the wall had cooktops and everything, and so we weren't really sure. That's when I kind of decided to make the phone call, and I think I talked to Phyllis immediately. She picked up the phone actually herself, and she said, I'll come to your house. And then when she came in, I showed her the sketches that what is it that we were thinking. She also deferred that this required some engineering modification. Camille, the ultimate architect, is going to make a decision whether this can be done or not. And I remember when Phyllis visited us a couple times, and one day Camille showed up in our meeting, and we were saying, can we really do anything with this wall? And he just got on the ladder and cut out 2 big holes in my ceiling, and he looked up and he said, yes, you can. And and that was really funny. And so I think we connected with the team really quickly. From there, it was a design phase. It took us almost a month and a half, maybe 2 months to go through a design phase. We worked with Phyllis regularly. She was extremely patient. And that's when our ideas actually started to kind of gel and get formulated, because we haven't done one of these before. We either build a house from scratch or we bought an existing home. But this was modifying what you already had. Then several visits, many visits, long hours, and finally we settled on a design. And when the design was done, we had to modify it several times because we had second thoughts. But I think Camille's team was amazingly receptive to all of our ideas. They made a lot of suggestions, recommendations, color, the style of cabinets, the layout, even appliances. Felix was really instrumental to say, you know, what's feasible, what works, based on some of the feedback they received from their other customers. And we tweaked our expectation accordingly as we were getting feedback. So that's an extremely important phase of the whole process. Appliances, we had to order directly ourselves, but we had it all delivered on site. And I think then the D-Day was June
14, 17?
14, around 14 or
Mid-June.
15, mid-June. That's where the demolition happened. And I still did not know how they're going to remove this wall. So I was very sort of like apprehensive to see, okay, how is this going to, you know, is anything going to shift or fall, et cetera. But Camille brought in really some of the best people that I've seen working in terms of, you know, architectural components of this modification. And they did an incredible job. It took almost 2.5 weeks just to deal with the actual framing and removal of the wall. When that was done, 2 to 3 weeks, then the actual changes start happening. I have nothing but, you know, praise for the entire team, especially people with different expertise that Camille has on his, you know, the subcontractors, everyone that he deals with, they're all like top notch. Constantly, immediately clean after their activity at the end of each day. And remember now, we were living in this house at the same time. So this thing took about, initially we thought it's going to take about 8 weeks. It took longer because we were modifying framing. This was a major upgrade that affected everything from our basement to this level, all the way up to the top level. I think they did a phenomenal job, you know, and this is the finished result that you see. And we're very happy. Do you like what you see?
Love it. Camille heading it, and we love Caesar and his team. They contribute a great deal of suggestion as they were putting things together, and valuable suggestions. And without them, I don't think it would turn out as nice as we see it today. We're absolutely delighted with the end result. Every friends, neighbors that came to visit has nothing but jaw-dropping, wow, this is amazing. And, you know, I gotta give it to PrimeCustom. They done a incredible job. I highly recommend PrimeCustom to our neighbor. In fact, our neighbor already started work with Camille at this point. So can't say more than, I can't expect any more than what I have seen so far.